Up on First at 4, a woman is sentenced in a high-profile Leslie County vehicular homicide case from several years ago. And an increase in measles cases is causing growing concern among health officials.
Plus, we are tracking rain chances to increase to end the week. Your forecast on the way as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a woman who pleaded guilty to vehicular homicide for an incident back in 2017 was sentenced today. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox has more from Leslie County.
Alyssa Noble was sentenced to 12 years in prison for vehicular homicide, assault, and wanton endangerment charges. Noble appeared in the Leslie County Circuit Court. She pleaded guilty to charges stemming from an incident in 2017 in which she hit and killed 23-year-old Paige Hayes. Hayes' family says this helps some.
As far as being enough time, her spending the rest of her life in prison will be never enough. Not for us, but I know there's laws that we have to live by, and they're not always the right laws, but there's laws we have to live by.
Johnson and another person injured gave statements before the sentencing. I will have more on the family's reaction at 6. And Leslie County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Chandler, thank you. We're told Noble will have to serve 85% of her sentence before being eligible for parole.
Well, a spring preview continues across the mountains on this Wednesday afternoon. Let's take a live look from the London Corbin Airport. Plenty of blue sky and sunshine. That current temperature up to 63 degrees, and most of us right now in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Up to 60 for Pikeville, 63 in Jackson, 67 over in Manchester. So we are well above average for early February. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, you guessed it, a clean sweep continues as we go into this afternoon. Also this evening, all thanks to high pressure. And as we zoom out, you can see high pressure is parked over the eastern coast. Some more dry weather is on the way as we go into this evening. And one more dry day on the way on your Thursday, but we are tracking some changes as we go into late Thursday, Friday, and the weekend as more rain chances are on the way. We stay mild also for the weekend, but we're also trending cooler as we go into your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Highs back in the 40s, lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. All those details plus your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. This week, Kentucky health officials reported the Ohio Health Department confirmed a case of measles in a person who lives in Ohio but traveled through the northern part of Kentucky. This as a rise in measles cases is raising concern across the country. WYMT's Olivia Calfee has more.
The Ohio resident with the confirmed case of the measles was traveling through the Northern Kentucky International Airport while contagious. But health officials say they are working to get in contact with anyone at the airport who may have been exposed. And Kentucky River District Public Health Director Scott Lockard says it's incredibly important for situations like this to ensure that you and your family are vaccinated.
The risk for people to be for developing measles is very low if they have been vaccinated. The CDC states that vaccination is 97% effective.
And at this time, there have been no confirmed cases of the measles in Kentucky this calendar year. But I will have more about this coming up in just a little bit. For now, I am reporting in Perry County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
Olivia, thank you. In the U.S., the first dose of measles vaccine is routinely administered in combination with a mumps and rubella vaccine, or MMR, to children 12 to 15 months. A second MMR dose is routinely administered between the ages of 4 and 6. 2 doses of MMR vaccine are about 97% effective at preventing measles if exposed. A second round of flu activity is spreading across the country following the holiday season. More than 16% of clinical lab samples tested positive for the flu for the week ending January 27th, according to the CDC. That's up nearly 2% from the week before. And more than half of Americans have not had a flu shot, which health experts say could help prevent severe illness or even death.
These respiratory viruses like to plague us through February into March, and then that's when they really begin to recede. Not enough people really took the vaccine, and I would hope that people have a belated New Year's resolution to this fall, when we get into September and October, to get that flu vaccine, because it does help keep you out of the hospital.
The CDC says at least 20 million Americans have gotten the flu since October. Coming up on First at 4, what role can the U.S. play in ending the war between Israel and Hamas? Secretary of State Antony Blinken is working to find out as he returns to the Middle East.
And enjoy the warm weather because a change is on the way by next week. Those details after this break.